Sonic the Hedgehog revealed. Interview with Steve Ritchie and Jack Pinball. Tales of the Arabian Nights remake revealed. New pinball cruise announced.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Houston. I'm the editor of Pinball Magazine, and I'm joined by...
Hi, I'm Martin Ave, and I'm the editor of Pinball News, and Jonathan and I are here to discuss all the exciting events that took place in the pinball world throughout the month of June 2026. And as you just heard from our headlines, there's quite a lot been going on.
Exactly, yeah. So without further ado, let's dive straight in because we got the long-awaited reveal of Sonic the Hedgehog, Jersey Jack Pinball's newest title.
Yes, indeed. It was announced on June the 23rd, which is the 35th anniversary of the release of the very first Sonic game outside Japan, and is now considered to be Sonic the Hedgehog's birthday. And of course...
But if I get this right, then there was already a Sonic game in Japan?
It was in Japan, but this was when it was released to North America and Western markets. Yeah, it's a fairly arbitrary date, but if you're going to pick a date, it's a good one as any. And so that was a date in which they chose to reveal Steve Ritchie's latest game, as you said, Sonic the Hedgehog, the 12th, I think, Jersey Jack Pinball game.
Possibly, yeah.
I think it is. So as there's some things that carried over from what they did with Harry Potter. So they've got three models. They've got the arcade edition. Rather than the Wizard edition, they have a special edition as the middle model. And they have the collector's edition as well. Prices are the same, which is essentially $10,000 US for the arcade, 12 for the special, and 15 for the collector's edition, respectively. None of these are limited in number at all, though the collector's edition is apparently being built to order rather than being a stock item. So they'll only build as many as they get orders for. They won't be sending them out to distributors to keep them in stock. But of course, JJP can choose at any point to call time on the collector's edition and say they're not going to make any more. And we have a little bit of that news coming up a bit later when we actually speak to Steve Ritchie and Jack Pinball.
Right. So, and well, to the surprise of many, this is a two-level pinball game.
Yeah, not too rare for a Steve Ritchie game to have two levels, of course. He's done that plenty of times in the past. The whole Black Knight, that original 2000 and Sword of Rage premium and limited edition only. But this one has a polycarbonate upper playfield, which we've seen used before, particularly in World Poker Tour. And we talk about also that.
Earlier on in a lot of Zaccaria games from the early 80s, they used to have a polycarbonate upper playfield, not with as many shots, but still.
Yeah, so that holds up pretty well, I think. In this case, that area is designated as Doctor Eggman's laboratory, Doctor Eggman being Sonic's nemesis. The two of them battle it out throughout the game. Now,
I have to admit, I never ever heard of Doctor Eggman. I'm completely unfamiliar with any of the Sonic games.
Well, me too. So. But doing a bit of research before it was announced, Dr. Eggman is also called Dr. Robotnik, apparently, or was called that originally in North America. They didn't like the Eggman name, so he was known as that. But officially, he is Dr. Eggman. And anyway, his laboratory, which is the upper playfield, has two full-size flippers and apparently 9 shots up there, including a 2-axis animating Dr. Eggman or Eggmobile bash toy, which
means it moves in
horizontally and vertically.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
or forward and back and left and right.
It doesn't move forward and backwards, I think. It goes up and down, or left and right.
Right. Okay.
So you can shoot under it, or you can shoot at it, depending on if you have to qualify him. And initially, I think the model is at the playfield level, and you just bash it. in subsequent levels, you have to bring him down so you can bash him. And he swings off into a hiding area off on the far left-hand side of the upper playfield behind some plastics, so you can't see him when he's not part of the gameplay. There's also on the main playfield, there's an individually controllable inline 3 blank drop target, which always gives you lots of possibilities of what you're going to do with them. There's an interesting accelerator lane with electromagnets, a bit like the, I suppose, No Fear, as would be my typical choice, where you shoot the ball on No Fear, you shoot it up the ramp, and the magnets grab the ball and they fling it further around the loop up to the upper flipper. Well, here they can do a bit more with it. Well, they also do that on No Fear. They can stop the ball with the magnets and drop it down into the left in lane. Well, on Sonic the Hedgehog, they can do quite a bit more with it as well. They can grab the ball, they can rock it backwards and forwards and build up some speed to it, and then they can fling it out the top of the lane, which sends it on a 360-degree wireform loop, which is a classic part of the Sonic gameplay in the video game.
Right.
Yes, there's also a battle zone area with a couple of slingshots in it, which is a bit like the central area, the Team Rocket area in Pokemon, except this has got more action going on in it, I'd have to say, because it's got a couple of big slingshots there. It has its own magnet in there too. But probably one of the most interesting things, I think, is the 5 micro LED ring displays that they have dotted around the playfield. I think there are 2 on the upper playfield and 3 on the lower one, which are basically just circular LED displays that allow the team there to put symbols or instructions or animations with RGB LEDs inside them. So they're a bit like, I liken it a bit to the piano on Elton John, that's got the long strip of LEDs on the front where they put messages and animations. Well, they kind of split that into the rings, so they can all be controlled individually, and sort of have little arrows pointing to where you're meant to shoot, and they can do little firework displays when you collect something. So looking very impressive, I have to say, and kind of like another display really in the game. And of course, carrying on with what they did with Harry Potter and Elton John, all the 3 models, the arcade, the special, and the collector's edition, all have all the same playfield features. It's just all the extra add-ons that you pay extra for like the powder-coated side armor and metalwork and lock bar and Visiglass shaker motor and toppers, which is another thing which we will talk about a bit later.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably enough details from me at the moment. So,
right.
Over to you, Jonathan.
Over to me. Oh my God. So, well, you mentioned the playfields are all the same. There's obviously cosmetic changes. Are we getting into those, to the various different models?
Yeah, can do. Yeah, why not?
Well, okay. Well, the collector's edition has laser cut side rails and red powder coat armor, red sparkle red cal. Sorry, it's a very difficult word for me. Gold ring displays, gold wireforms, the Sonic shooter rod in Visiglass, and an animated Sonic versus Doctor Eggman topper, which is actually very cool. With the 2 characters moving across with the full width of the backbox to battle each other with a super wide interactive LCD screen behind them. So if Sonic starts running, you see dust coming up, or when he crashes into something, or you see pieces falling off and all that kind of stuff. So it's very, very cool, very very well integrated, and it also has the game changer QR code system from Harry Potter to set the difficulty level using the player camera. So if you have these QR codes, you can instantly select whether you're a novice player or a more advanced player, and the game rules adjust accordingly.
Yeah, it normally
So
has three
he,
levels, I think.
yeah.
As a
So
beginner, standard, and wizard, I think, are the three.
right.
But, yeah.
So, well, there's also the special edition, which is finished in a Sonic blue powder coat with a 2-layer static illuminated topper. So that's basically a bunch of polycarbonate sheets.
Yeah, two
Yes.
layers of them. Yeah, with some lighting
Yes.
effects on it.
Yeah. And it has to be said, the game was very well received.
Yeah, I think came out very well in people's expectations. Obviously, with a big title like Sonic, there's a lot of assets and a lot of different games out there from which you can choose to set the game. But they chose one of those, and I think that's probably, I think it was the Genesis version, and was it? Yeah, I can't remember. It was Sonic Generations, I think was the video game which they mostly based it on, but I think there were a few other games included in there as well, which
Yeah.
seems to give them the best selection of assets to use in the game. But we'll hear more about that later when we speak to Steve, and he can tell us himself.
Right. So I have to say, not being familiar with Sonic and so on, I did watch some gameplay of the Sonic the Hedgehog pinball machine. Um, and based on that, I mean, basically, if we're comparing, we now have this year, two Japanese sort of cartoon characters turned into a pinball machine. The other one being Pokemon, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But if money would not be an issue, and I had to choose between Pokemon and Sonic, it would be hands down Sonic.
Oh, I agree. Yes, having played Pokemon a bit, it's okay, but it doesn't really have the wow factor to me. That
No, of
even in
course.
the limited edition version that Sonic does. I think Sonic's got far more in it, and
Right.
yeah, and of course Pokemon's not even the current title at the moment either, with Transformers More Than Meets the Eye being the current title from Stern at the
Yeah.
time of recording.
Which is also not. I've heard people are very enthusiastic about that game, but theme wise, it's not appealing to me at all. But then again, the cartoon never was, so that
No,
explains a lot.
ditto, and the fact that there isn't anything that transforms in the game, I think, has been something that
Oh,
has been pointed out over and over again.
yeah.
Particularly
Well,
when they said that they intended to have something transforming and then
let's
couldn't
not
do it.
get ahead of let's not get ahead of our topics in this pincast.
Yeah.
Because first, and we already announced it, we had the opportunity to talk to Jack Guarnieri, the founder of Jersey Jack Pinball, and designer of the game, Steve Ritchie. So let's listen to what they had to say about Sonic the Hedgehog
Okay.
Pinball. So we're joined by not only Jersey founder Jack Guarnieri, but also veteran pinball designer and Hall of Famer, I should say, Steve Ritchie, who just released his latest game, Sonic the Hedgehog. Hello, Jack. Hello, Steve.
Hello,
Hi.
guys. How are you
Doing
doing?
well, thank you. Yeah, good to finally speak to you, and congratulations on the launch of your new game.
Well, thanks a lot.
It must be
We're very happy
it must
right
be a big
now.
relief to finally get the game out there.
Yeah, it's a big relief, and it's very nice to see that a lot of people are enjoying it already. That's so important.
Yeah, that's one of the things that you've well, as a company you've taken on now to get the games out there early, either at launch or very shortly afterwards. I know that's something that Jack was very keen to do.
Yes,
Yeah,
congratulations on that, Jack, as well, to get that many games out on to distributors and locations as well right after launch.
Yeah, it's something that I think is important. The more games that are out, the more people get to see it. More people want it. You know, we're not forcing people to buy it, but a lot of them have bought them, which is very cool.
Okay, so we probably should ask a few questions about the game then, really, and might as well start with the Sonic franchise itself, which is obviously well-established part of culture, popular culture. 35-year anniversary this year, and you launched it on the birthday, of course, of Sonic.
So it was great. It was really great to work with Sega. Obviously, they game people. They understand what great games are, and it was really a pleasure to work with them. The whole team, our team and their team, really meshed together very well, and it was just a wonderful experience.
The Sonic franchise spans multiple generations of games and across multiple gaming platforms as well, and a movie too. So, how did you decide which particular part of the Sonic storyline arc to use for the pinball?
it's based on Sonic Generations, basically, because the artwork is sharp and pretty in 3D. There's a lot of people who would say, "Oh, why aren't you doing the pixelated images of the '90s?" And it's like, I don't know, it's not pretty. I don't want it on the pinball machine. Although we do some pixelated images on our new little ring displays. There's 5 of them on each game.
Yeah, they're very impressive. It's almost, it seems like a sort of a natural evolution from the display you had on the front of the piano for Elton John.
Yeah, definitely. It's very similar technology.
Okay, well, I'll be honest and say I've never played Sonic video games before, so I don't have the background that a lot of potential buyers and players will have. So, were you familiar with the Sonic game, Steve, before you started working on this game?
Well, I played Sonic with my son, and I mean, a long, long time ago in the '90s. We had a Sega Genesis system, and we played it, but I had forgotten about it since then, and I didn't focus on it. And I knew when I was going to get into it that I didn't know anything about Sonic, not enough. So we had this programmer that we hired, and he's like, it turns out he loves Sonic. He knows everything about it, and he educated us all about the history and how it goes. And then after experiencing that, we saw Sonic's attitude, which is really important, and how he looks, what he does. He does little dances. He's kind of he's got a little ego, and it's interesting. And we fell into it with that young guy's name is Taylor Snyder. He's been a great programmer. He didn't even know how to play a pinball when he came to us, but he learned how to play pinball and actually became a pretty good player. Anyway, he's been magnificent on the code too. He's learning from Bill and Joe Katz and Bill Grupp. Let me make that clear. And Duncan and others there, and he's just sucked up everything and become a monster.
Yeah, I saw Taylor in the first look video, which was released recently, and it seemed very personable and very knowledgeable about it. But so, okay, you knew there was a Sonic the Hedgehog game. What were your immediate thoughts as to what had to be in it?
Well, a lot of things. I mean, Sonic is fast. I'm just a guy, I'm just the guy to do that. The pinball is the fastest that I've ever made. I think you're going to agree. It's beautiful because it never, and I love that. You keep making shots. Pinball doesn't stop either. I mean, you got to, you can stop the ball yourself, I guess, but this, that fast speed. It's about Sonic needs to collect rings. You try to collect as many rings as you can, and it's really important to get through checkpoints so you can have boss battles against Doctor Eggman. And I mean, it's a perfect vehicle for a pinball machine, just no question. And it's really a nice thing that a hell of a lot of the people in the world are gonna understand the dynamic instantly and how to play the game. And Sonic's attitude is another thing. He's kind of a wise ass. He's like, but he's like, he celebrates his little victories, and Wow, it's about collecting emeralds and trying to become supersonic. It's about working with his team of friends and a lot of other nuances, but those are probably the big ones. That's what this game is about.
So, were there well, obviously, so we're talking about a game with a an upper playfield. That's not the first time that you did that. We see with Black Knight, of course, and this time
Elvis, World Poker Tour.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's funny,
So
if
this
I can
time,
inject something, it's funny. I want to inject something just for the information of the people out there. Some people are questioning the strength and durability of a polycarbonate playfield. The stuff we've got plenty of history with it. It's very cleanable, polishable, and it's extremely durable. Now, once in a while, if you're playing the game every day, many plays, it's a good idea to change balls now and then. But you would do that on any new pinball machine to protect the finish on any playfield. It's not a worry. Historically, polycarbonate playfields have held up excellently, and they don't fog. And where that fogging up thing is coming from was early AC/DC games. Here's what they did. They installed the polycarbonate in the playfield and then sanded it. They heated it up and it became foggy. And then they put hard coat on it and the fog stayed in there. So you're not going to get any foggy playfields. You're not going to have problems with it. Keep it clean. Open it up once in a while. Take a rag, clean it up. Non-abrasive. Be careful. Use a microfiber cloth. Okay, that's all I wanted to say about that. Yes. And now we're talking about the upper playfield on Sonic.
Right. Well, to your point, I think already in the early 80s proved that polycarbonate upper playfields work perfect for pinball because, 40 years later, and they're still very clear. Those used on the Italian games back in the day. So,
good point.
I didn't see any issues with that. So, for whatever it's worth, but yes, upper playfield and quite a lot of shots as well on it.
Yeah, there's like 9 shots. One of them is like into a gate now, but we left it there and we left a switch there so that in tournament play, if you want to shorten the game, tournaments mean massive groups of great players that can play a pinball machine forever. So, of course, during a tournament, they set up the games to be much more difficult and less time consuming. So, one important thing to do would be to remove that gate so that people can either accidentally or on purpose shoot the ball back down to the lower playfield via the left ramp. So we put it in though because we put the gate in for commercial play, average people, and you can't drain out that way anymore. So you can drain is between the 2 flippers and the magic post in the middle. There's all kinds of shots up there. What I mean by that is shapes. There's orbits. There's 2 orbits. There's a loop. There's 2 ramp shots. One of them goes straight back down to the buck where it pops back up onto your right flipper. It's not really as easy as it looks to make that shot, and even harder is a ramp that goes under itself, comes up the back, and then crosses over to the right. And we call it the under and over ramp. And it's it's a fun shot. And there's also new targets. There's a dog barking background.
Right.
There's also 2 targets that, it was my idea, but somebody else's other engineer's execution, in that people have tried to make a target that just attaches to the playfield with nothing hanging down below. I couldn't afford to have that. So these are linear targets, and they use these really nice little compressible dive springs that don't stack all their windings together. It allows a little excursion of this thing with great rebound and also a urethane face. So what you get is stand-up target play off of what normally would be a static, non-interesting target. So anyway, you can play them, and it's nice. If you hit them on the right side, they tend to go to the right flipper. It's it's a nice feature, and I really like them, and I'll use them again. There's a spinner up there, and there's also lots of single LEDs, and this is a color-based game. You look for colors. If you want to get checkpoints, look for a blue arrow.
When it actually came to the reveal on the 23rd of June, of course, Sonic's 35th birthday, it kind of felt as if some of the marketing material for the launch was being held back with the. There was a fast-cutting promo video, which was very nicely made, but sort of left a lot of questions about what was actually in the game and how it all worked. Now we've got the first look video released, and that seems to answer nearly all those questions, which was absolutely great.
Okay, well, can I speak to
Yeah.
that for just a moment? It's like, I think that the timing of everything was just fine. We got people talking. There's no question. Nothing was held back. We didn't even make a play video because Alex's was going to come out. Have you seen the Alex Manning video? You must have. What do they call it? What's the name of it?
Yeah, that's what I was just
look.
saying. Also answers so many of the questions.
Yeah, right. And that was it. Everything was according to schedule, and the controversy was created by the public, not us. There wasn't a non-release of the play video. We didn't have one, and we didn't want one at that point. And so that's how it is.
No, my point was really that once the game was launched, there was still a huge number of questions about how various aspects of the playfield and the features worked. I mean, obviously you could see the artwork in the cabinet and see how beautiful the games looked, but didn't really get a feel of what was on the playfield at that time. And now you say that maybe that's intentional, that you've created a certain amount of mystery, and then you come in a few days later with the first look video, which actually answers all those questions. If that was the way it was intended to be, then fine. But it did lead to a lot of speculation, and of course speculation often leads to people making incorrect assumptions about various aspects of the game.
Oh, so many incorrect assumptions on pin side. I looked at every one of them. I hate to admit it, but I did. But it's people, I think they hope for things, and then if it is there, they're happy. If it isn't there, it's not. But there's always going to be, everyone's going to have a personal, interpretation of how a pinball from Sonic should play, and it's like, I wanted the game to be beautiful. All of us did, and 3D graphics is the way to go. And I would say that was the major concern, is that people wanted the old style pixelated graphics, and I just it didn't.
Everybody seemed to come at the game from their own personal experience. So people who grew up with the 16-bit version of it wanted it to be like that.
Right.
People who came to it from the 32-bit and the 3D versions wanted it to be like that. So there's no way you're going to satisfy everybody.
Right. And then there's lots of newbies out there, people that are new to pinball, wondering about a polycarbonate, playfield, wondering how durable can it be? It's plastic. And I mean, there's a huge history. So, we're going to clarify that. Although if you play Black Knight, Sword of Rage, World Poker Tour, Elvis, I mean, this is an old game, and the playfields still look great if people just clean them now and then. Even if they leave them filthy, they can always be buffed out with a machine, a nice buffing, and take out every scratch that's in there. But most games don't need it if you just clean it.
And it's pretty easy to clean the underside of the polycarbonate, is it?
Yes, but that comes from the factory that manufactures the polycarbonate. It's called polycarbonate AR, abrasion resistance. You can buy it without that coating, but we don't do that. We buy polycarbonate AR, and that's what's on the game. Both sides protected.
Okay.
So one of the obviously there's a lot of features on the game, but one that really caught my eye is the looping shot, which is it seems to have, it's like a looping shot without anything leading up to it. I understand the ball is basically drawn in there by magnetics. Can you talk about how you designed that and how you came up with that?
Sure, it looks like magic, but it's not the first time I've done sequence magnets. I've done it quite a few times. It's just that you You know, there was a different kind of magnet. This is a pancake magnet. It sits below the ramp. And because I didn't have room for the big giant square ones that I would use in Star Wars or high speed. Okay, so it's like they're smaller magnets, but they're very powerful when the ball is close to them, and it's very much like a MagnaSave kind of coil, maybe a little stronger. And so they're accelerated. There's optos, and Bill Grupp, the master of this operation of operating the magnet ramp. You know, it took us a long time to get the timing right because before each magnet, there's an opto. We have to time it so when the ball gets there, it applies the most power until it's in the center of the magnet and then no power. So you can take that momentum you gain and all of a sudden turn off the resistance as it tries to roll off the magnet. So that's a pretty intelligent explanation of how they work. And but there's to find the magic numbers was difficult, and we got it. And then the other challenge, of course, was spin dash, when you can take a ball coming in the ramp at any speed, fast, slow, it doesn't matter. It's got to stop the ball dead, and you pound on the flippers to move a cursor on the back glass until you get into a green zone, and then click, hit the action button. And that's brilliant. And then the ball drops from that second magnet back to the first, gets accelerated again, past the second and past the third, and jump through the loop.
It's an impressive device and works very well. Even more impressive when you just see a ball sort of very gently enter that lane and then suddenly get whipped round the loop. Now, we're talking about features that are on the game. JJP has continued the trend that you did with Harry Potter, having 3-tier model with the arcade edition, the special and collector's editions. In Harry Potter, the three models all had identical playfield features. Is that the case here with Sonic?
Exactly. Any model you pick has all the rules, all the components, every feature, every software block, all the graphics on the screen, everything is identical from one model to the next. What we don't have is we don't have a shaker motor. We don't give you arc blades. We don't give you laser cut side armor. We don't give you radicals. We remove those things, and there's more. It doesn't come with this magnificent topper, and it's like I love it because it puts it in the hands of more people, and certainly in many more arcades. That's what we need to be. We need to be more of a street operated company too, and I think it's going to be good for everyone, including more on the street means more players get to enjoy it. It also means more money for operators. Once again, I'm going to tell you, I make games to sell. If we don't sell games, there's no money. If there's no money for pinball, then there's no more pinball. And so I do my best to make everybody happy. I mean, the first thing, it's got to play, and it's got to play well, and it has to work. Those two things. And so, but after that, I definitely want to make sure that I've lived through the ups and downs of the pinball business, and you can bet that I'm going to do everything I can to make sure we stay in the up cycle, not the down cycle.
Right. And I guess this might be one for Jack, but as with Harry Potter, you don't have any limit to the number of production of any of the three models. You can the collector's edition is not a limited edition.
So the collector edition is bespoke. We're building them to order. There will be a time when we don't build them anymore. So it is limited by time. And actually, right now on Harry Potter, I'm ready to make an announcement soon that we're done with production.
Of all models? Or
just collector edition.
Okay, so if people want to get one, they have to get in there really quick.
On the collector edition, I would say the window is closing.
Yeah.
And you can understand why, okay? We have to order parts, that's a big thing right there. Ordering parts, a very easy thing to say, but very hard to do with large capital. And, how many more are going to get sold? There's always questions. And it's like, sooner or later, things have to end.
That almost seems like doing the build to order. makes it quite tricky in that regard.
It does. When you do build to order, you really need to have confidence in what you're selling.
I do have a question for Jack. With since this is a game based on Sonic the Hedgehog, it could be my age, and that's probably it. But I get the feeling that with a theme like this, you're targeting at a younger audience, which is fine, of course. But is the Jersey Jack Pinball collectors base, so to speak? Do they fit that same profile, or will they just take it because it's a Jersey Jack game?
Well, it's a little of everything. We're aging down, and we have a multi-generational title, and everybody seems to be responding to it.
I was going to ask about the because you've got the 3 models, but so if people order them, they obviously would like to know when they're going to get their game. So do you have or are you able to share a production schedule for when each of the 3 models are going to be produced?
We're mixing them up.
Okay, well, we need to build all 3 at the same time. That's the simple answer. It's the factory that juggles everything around. We build some CEs because those people are like flying in first class. They want to get the game first. We're building arcade editions because operators want the game first. We're building special editions because those people want to get the game first. So it's a juggling act, but we're trying to make everybody happy, which is
right now online in the factory. All 3 editions are there. We're going to try to, split it up the best we can. It's
yeah. I mean, I love people. I mean, obviously we appreciate everybody, but I love getting the calls, and Jen loves getting the calls that, the first day order. When am I going to get my game? Well, did you order the game? Yeah, just now. So it's hard to tell you when you'll get your game. I can't give you an exact date, but all the orders are fulfilled in the queue in which they were ordered. So,
and let's be clear about this. It's like we're going to build all the CEs first. That's not going to happen. We're not doing that. We're mixing them all the way through.
Okay. So I do have a question for Steve regarding the design team. In the launch video, we've seen Bill Grubb, of course. So he's part of the software team. We don't know who did any of the artwork or the graphics, the LCD animations. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Well, we got Bobby Zara. He's, I'm blown away by this guy. He can do 3D models, but he's also a great animator. And another guy named Johnny. You don't know who Taylor Snyder is, obviously, but you do now. He's the new programmer, a young guy. I would call him a Sonics expert. And he's everybody on the team has been awesome. Duncan's been working on lighting effects and all that. I don't know if he's in the video or not.
No.
But, Joe Ernest has been a major positive asset at Jersey Jack. He's tremendous at electronics design, but also this mighty open mind that if I say something, he goes, yeah, we can do that, which excites me. I love to hear that because there's lots of things that I want to try in the future. And he's the guy that's going to make that happen. And loved working with him, It turns out he came here and he's like a pinball collector. I mean, just stepped up the game and we started playing because we're he's probably a little better than me, but we're a pretty good match if we play together. Anyway, I'm trying to think of other people that you saw on the screen. Remind me.
You had your lead mechanical engineer there as well.
Yeah, Camasaurus, and he was magic on the Eggman mechanism. He's a kid. I mean, to me anyway. I think he's 25, but he used to work in robotics, and he's definitely enthusiastic, and he does understand exactly the point that it has to be extremely durable. Yeah, I mean, a ball is going to beating on it for its life, and it's gone through testing like you would not believe. I didn't think it would make it. I just thought it's going to break. Something's going to go wrong. And there were a few things on the way, but they were minor. And he fixed them. And I don't know. I think that's a magnificent toy, maybe one of the best ever, because, all right, it is my concept. I wanted to make them go left and right. It's on one of my early drawings and up and down, but I never pictured it with, this beautifully molded character inside that's, front lit from inside the ship. He's awesome to see. And and the lights in front and, combined with the speech that he says and the action up there, I love it. And I know that other people are going to love it too, because it's fun. And we're going to do some more with that. It's going to be, we are definitely going to expand, the look of what goes on in the software and art. You'll see.
You were talking about the sculpts. You were saying in the video that all the sculpts in the game are custom made for this game. Is that right? They're not off the shelf parts.
That's right. That's exactly right. We drew them and designed them and got them molded. They belong to us. I mean, not the copyright, but those toys belong to us. We'll never run out. We don't have to worry about a manufacturer not supplying them anymore. We can run as many as we want. That's an important thing. I think the industry learned that on Lord of the Rings.
Right.
That's why you haven't seen any repeats of Lord of the Rings, because the toys can't be duplicated.
But owners of character-based intellectual property are notoriously protective about how their characters are portrayed. That all has to be signed off, I guess, by Sega when you were making the sculpts. But what other aspects of like the imagery and the video and the audio did Sega have a big control over?
I wouldn't call them a control editor. I would say that, first of all, we are dealing with two entities. There's Sega America and there's Sega Japan. And often we had to wait quite a while to get, through the translations. First of all, back to Japan, here's an interesting story. Shoot here. And they came back with shoot like a gun, no guns. I had to tell them, no guns. Shooting is just a thing we say. It means flipping the ball at a target, trying to hit it. Shoot this, shoot that. There's no guns. Okay, so we had to tell them that, and it was sort of indicative of translating problems we might have. And they weren't that bad. I mean, not bad at all, but they took a long time for some things to get approved. But as far as working with Sega, it was great. I mean, there's only been a few licenses that were as nice as this relationship. Okay, they've been good about everything. They gave us a shot, and they have their graphic demands, no question, but they're beautiful, and I'm happy with it. I mean, I want it to look as authentic as possible. I want it to look like one of their beautiful Sega Sonic games. I do. It's fantastic.
And not just look like it, but also sound like it, because you got authentic voices in the game.
Absolutely. We used the actors that originally worked in Generations, and one of the guys, I forgot his name, but he's I think he's been doing Doctor Eggman for a long, long time. But all of them sound good. It sounds like Sonic. It sounds like Amy Rose. It sounds like all the characters sound like they do in the game because they are the characters in the game.
You're quite notorious for getting your voice into all your games, or at least many of your games. Did you do any voice work for this?
I did not, but there's one call I'd like to make. I'm not going to tell you what it is. There's just one, and I'm going to ask if they can agree to that. It's just one call that I want to say. Meanwhile, it doesn't matter. Eggman is going, play better. He's doing his version of a lot of my quotes and things like that in the way that I would speak. And I think it's funny. And it's
funny. There was one voice call that came out, and I thought it was you in it. Where it says, "Let's crank this magnet up to 11." And I thought that was you, but obviously not.
No, it's not. I'll tell you what. The guy that voices Doctor Eggman is great. He's a great voice actor. He's awesome. I mean, I bow to him.
So where are you with the software in the game now? Then how complete is it? How much more is there to go in the game from what people? Because people are just getting a first view of it, and obviously they're not really experiencing the whole game yet, so they don't even know what's missing at this point.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
I don't know if have you ever heard of this? Have you ever heard of anyone ever said to you, none of your beeswax?
Yes. Yeah.
It's kind of a wise guy thing to say, but I don't want to talk about what we're going to do, but we are going to do more.
Well, you've already published the sort of flow chart of the rules, saying what's going to be in the game.
Right.
But it's just a question of how much is done now and how much is to come.
There's nothing in that flow chart of a description for some of the major features that we're working on. And so I'm not going to disclose those things because they're in development, and what I say might be incorrect, misleading. I'm not going to do that. But I appreciate your asking. This is Martin. Martin gets to the question. He gets to the point.
Well, I understand.
There's nothing wrong with it.
And I'll pass over to Jonathan. I'm sure he's got some more questions.
Can I make one comment?
Sure.
Okay. I just want to say to the people that hear this, okay, Jonathan Houston, Martin Nayev, Jack, me, we've all been friends for a long time.
We are.
And
yes.
I very much respect you guys, how you've handled so many things, and both of you are incredible writers and prolific, and I just wanted to say that I love you guys.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us in this interview or monthly PINcast. I understand it's a very busy time for you at the moment because you're not only you having to promote the game, you're going to a launch party, I think, aren't you, today?
Yes. Yeah, there's a long schedule, and I think I did 6 podcasts last week or 5, and a direct person-to-person interview in the conference room, and it's been interesting. Plus, dealing with some struggles. It's been intense, and like I said at the first of this, it's very relaxing to be here at Jack's house and enjoying a little calm, peace and quiet.
Right. So, will you be attending any pinball events to promote the game aside from the upcoming weekend?
Yeah, we're going to be at Southern Fried Gaming. That's definitely with the machines. There may be other things. We're doing something this weekend at a pinball speakeasy called Under the Glass. And somebody's trying to call me. How could they do that during an interview? How dare them interrupt us?
I'll be in Italy. I'll be in Sicily at our distributor in Catania in Sicily in July. They're doing an open house.
Great.
Right.
Yeah, so, and you've got games on their way to Europe at the moment, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I've seen quite a few European distributors or resellers saying we'll have our game shortly and then we'll do a launch event.
And you'll see it in the UK as well.
Yeah, I know Phil's posted about that already. So I'm just wondering how long they take to arrive.
Going by air, so not long. Martin, do you know we were together a year ago today?
A year ago. Oh yeah, of course, at Phil's. Yeah, for the Harry Potter launch. Yeah, that was a very nice event. It's a shame he's not doing another one this year.
Yeah, it would be great timing.
Yeah, it's almost a year to the day. Well, it was a year, and I think it was the 6th of June that you launched Harry Potter, 5th or 6th, and then it was the 23rd of June that you launched Sonic. So almost a year.
Right. It's good that Sonic's birthday was when it was.
Yeah, it was worked out well.
Happy coincidence. So, so Jack, obviously you were working, I assume, closely on this reveal and setting everything up. Can you talk about a little bit about the orchestration and the direction of how to launch this game and what ideas came to mind and what you were trying to achieve?
Well, I've said it before. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. The game needs to do its own talking, but the people involved with it need to do the explaining. So I think we've launched, this is the 12th game, and I think we did it 12 different ways every time. It's been a little bit different. you want to get people to be excited in reality because the game is a great game. You don't have to sugarcoat it. You don't have to do a lot of things. As soon as we'll get their hands on the game, they're going to love it. And it was a lot of people involved. There were a lot of people involved in the launch, and they did a great job.
I think one of the most impressive parts. I mean, there are multiple impressive parts of the game, but everybody seems to be talking about that topper. Is there any chance that will be made available for any of the other models other than the collector's edition?
There's no chance.
You have to buy it if you want it.
Well, you buy the collector edition.
Wow. I think that'll disappoint a few people, but understandable.
Yeah, you have to have some differences between the games. Right, so, yeah, the Super has a nice type, huh?
Oh, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the lighting effects on there yet. I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
So who designed the topper? Did Steve do that, or is that do you have a separate a mechanical engineer who?
That's my design.
Okay.
In fact, I didn't make it. Okay, I'm going to make it clear, but it is my spec. I want the two versions to run back and forth on the track. I want both of them to be able to go to extreme ends of the track. I want them to be able to turn and face the player, face each other, face back to back. I want a video screen behind the back where we can display smoke, parts falling off the Eggmobile, Sonic getting knocked in the head, and little birds flying around above it. You know what I mean? And I want a big cloud of dust when he takes off, and that's what we're doing. That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So, with Sonic being a video game character, were you able to use any video game images in the game, or did it have to be redrawn and regenerated altogether?
No, it's like we freely used. What was Sonic running on the display in the back box? That's full-time Sonic play, absolutely the same that was on Generations in points. And we don't let you get to the end, and we had to do some extra work on there to make it pinball specific. But it's like, yeah, there's lots and lots of Sega Sonic artwork and animations, no question.
Was the artwork for the game for the cabinet and was that from Jersey Jack artist, or was that from Sega?
That was from an artist we hired at Jersey Jack.
Okay.
And it's very well done. I mean, look at it this way, okay? Sega has like a 100-page booklet called a style guide. Okay, they've been selling products, video game licensed products for a long, long time. They tell you how to print a T-shirt, how to draw what kind of graphics here and there, and a lunchbox. And the pinball was a new thing, but they said use this style guide, and we did. And it's basically all from their style guide. It's all authentic, Sega. There's no other way to put it.
And you managed to get a little bit of Slash in the music.
Yeah, definitely. He's great. He's a great guitar player. I'm glad he came and he added a lot to a couple tunes. And there's it's kind of subtle. You got to know which tunes to listen to. But then when you hear the tune, you go, oh, that's the one with the man. And so that's cool.
Okay, so obviously Sega being a Japanese licensor, so do they already have a game in Japan? Because pinball in Japan, it's not the biggest market, so to speak, and this is a video game company. So I'm just curious whether you already had a response from them on actually seeing and playing the game.
I don't, Sega has a game, and I think they loaned it out to an arcade for this weekend. And yet last night there was a big, long streaming thing, which was exciting because people loved it, and I could feel it. It's nice. I don't think Japan has ever seen the actual pinball machine, probably videos, but I don't really know. I just know that Sega only had one game. It appeared in California. near the Sega, campus, and that's all that I know. I don't think there's one in Japan. Do you, Jack?
They're getting one, and it's in Burbank. Sega has a game in
Right. No,
Burbank.
their question is, do you think the Japanese ever played a game or saw it in person?
No,
That's what I think too. I think they ever have.
I'm pretty sure they saw a video of the game.
Right. And in pinball in Japan, there's almost nothing. I mean, that's how it's always been. We make a run of high speed and they take 10, and that was in the day. Now we sell one, from people who are pinball people.
Yeah, they have a nice Super Bowl museum in Osaka.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. I've been there.
I haven't been there.
Yeah. Very impressive.
Great people.
Okay. Well, I think Jonathan has to go, so I think it's a good time to wrap this up. And thank Steve Ritchie and Jack Pinball for joining us on this special Sonic interview.
Great talking to you.
Thank you very much indeed. And
likewise.
And we look forward to playing the game and seeing you in person.
Looking forward to seeing you guys too. Love you. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Well, thanks to Steve and Jack for taking time out. What was a very busy time for them promoting the game to talk to us and answer our questions.
Well, they talk to everybody.
I know they do. Yeah.
You were the last in line.
Well, yes, we're the last ones to publish our interview with them. That's true.
Oh well, but it's always great to talk to Steve. It's always it was very nice to hear what he had to say about our multi-year long friendship going on.
Yes, it's always a good time, and I'm sure we will get to see Steve and Jack again in October, and hopefully go out for lunch again.
Yeah, that's always fun. It's always a good time to start a new rumor.
Yeah, we'll work on that one. We'll see what we can come up with. But anyway, congratulations to Jersey Jack Pinball and everyone there on the release of their latest game. We look forward to playing it.
Yeah, so Steve did. He was with Jack for I think 4 days, just after the launch, to attend a launch party at Under the Glass, a pinball arcade in New Jersey. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly of the city, but Under the Glass is the name of it. And I think he also went to can't think of the name, that pinball museum, also in New Jersey, which is near the beach.
Silver Ball.
Yeah. And I think Steve was there for like 4 days to promote the game. So I hope he had a great time. And he will be doing more events, of course. He mentioned those as well in the interview that we just listened to. And like Martin said, I look forward to seeing both Jack and Steve in October this year at the Pinball Expo.
Yep. Okay, so moving on to our second headline, or third headline, I suppose we should really talk about, which was related to the it was previously announced that Pedretti were going to be doing Tales of the Arabian Night remake, and this month we actually finally got to see it, and it was launched on the 15th of June. Yes, Tales of the Arabian Night remake, available in 2 versions: a Legacy Edition, which has the original artwork on the cabinet and playfield and backglass, and a 30th Anniversary Edition. Yes, that's right, it's the 30th anniversary apparently, which has Brian Allen artwork, Brian Allen of Flyland Design, with his take on Tales of the Arabian Night artwork on the cabinet, backglass, and playfield as well.
Right.
The Legacy Edition, I've only got the European prices here. I don't know what they are in US prices. I've just got them off Pedretti's own website. Legacy Edition costs €9,300 plus tax, or VAT, plus shipping. Whereas the 30th Anniversary Edition isn't a huge amount more. It costs $10,000 plus VAT and shipping, and is limited to 399 machines. So,
and I wonder, where is that number coming from?
Yes.
I don't see any special link to the game with the number 399.
No, it's not like if it had been 300, that would make sense to be the 30th anniversary. But
right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we don't quite know exactly why that is, but
Yeah.
anyway, the game, like most remakes that Pedretti do, comes with a full-width color LCD display. In fact, 21.5-inch LCD display in this case. Full RGB lighting throughout, speaker lights, playfield sidebar strip lights. Comes with Scorbit integration. Has the original game code built in and emulated, but also an enhanced 1.5 version of the game code, according to Pedretti, while keeping the essence of the original rules. In version 1.5, each tale has been reworked to better balance the difficulty, and in addition, each tale will now feature additional goals to enchant the jewel before you collect it. Yes. As those of you remember the rules, you play a tale and then you collect the jewel at the end of it, or sometimes two jewels. I say, if you get if you shoot the Make-A-Wish first. The 30th anniversary has purple glitter metalwork all round, while the Legacy Edition has black night sky, which is basically black with white specks on it. The 30th, I would say that now the 30th anniversary edition has sold out basically by the time you're hearing this. So they say that the allocation has been fully reserved, but it doesn't mean it won't be available through distributors. Right. It just means that they, as far as the factory is concerned, that they're going to be making 399 of them.
Yes. So, and distributors may still have them in stock because they tend to stock up before they are left without any.
That's right. And talking of distributors, as part of this announcement, that they also announced some benefits for US buyers, because obviously these games are made at Pedretti's factory, their European Pinball Corporation factory in Italy, and that has proved to be a bit of a sticking point for some US buyers who don't like buying games from Italy and relying on them for support. So they have announced, this is Pedretti, have announced two things. First of all, that they've appointed two authorized American repair centers, and they have been created to support the Pedretti factory in Italy. One is with Planetary Pinball Supply in Nevada, and the other one is with the Pinball Company in Missouri. So that's Nick Park Pinball Company and Rick at Planetary Pinball Supply in Nevada. And in addition to that, they've also appointed Lloyd Olson of SS Billiards in Minnesota as a US customer service support point of contact. So if you have issues with your games, you can call Lloyd, and he will be able to talk you. He'll have a game there, and he'll be able to talk you through what you need to do in order to fix it, and hopefully he'll have the authority to order parts for you as well if you need them. But that may then get referred onward to either Planetary Pinball or the Pinball Company in that case. But it certainly boosted their US support side.
Right. Okay. Well, so we finally get to see the 30th anniversary edition of Tales of the Arabian Nights. Off the record, I may have, well, let's call it a rumor. Ooh. Well, it's not actually a rumor, but okay, let's put it like this. For the Dutch Pinball Open Expo, which is held in November, the team is working very, very hard to get Andrea Pedretti and possibly his brother as well to come over to, well, obviously promote Pedretti Gaming and possibly also do a seminar on what they are doing as Pedretti Gaming and maybe as well as Euro Pinball Corporation. So,
yeah, their relationship with the Pinball Brothers as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not confirmed yet, but we are working on it, and the local Dutch distributor is also pushing for Pedretti to make an attendance at the event, because after all, it is Europe's biggest pinball event.
It certainly makes sense, because otherwise, we don't really hear anything from them much, do we? Just
Yes.
they go through their distributors in Europe, but we don't hear much from Pedretti themselves. And seems like they have a lot of big plans.
Yeah, exactly. So, and there's lots of stories and dirt to be discussed as well. So, we want to hear it all.
Yeah, it looks like they're still working out the final details of the game. There are a few things that they say have been improved since the launch took place. There's some issues with a couple of the mechs in the game that they say have now been fixed, and there's also some misspelling on some of the promotional material where it says lightning lamp is misspelled as lighting lamp, but that's also been fixed on the playfields in the final game. So they're across all this. It doesn't sound like they're actually building the game yet, and we don't know exactly when they will start or when delivery is going to take place or plan to take place. But as soon as we find out information, we will bring that to you.
Right. So it does raise the question: what are they building? Yeah, you broke up for a second on my end. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, well, it's not your fault. I blame Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully, it sounds all right to our listener at home.
Yeah. Oh, probably. Yeah. So. Anyway, then there is something that we say a first for Pinball to have announced the very first pinball cruise hosted by Barrels of Fun.
Indeed, yes, which was our fourth headline, I guess.
Yeah.
But that kind of comes off the back of an earlier announcement by Barrels of Fun, which we should probably cover first because it kind of links in to the cruise itself, which is Barrels of Fun launching a new program, which is only available to US buyers, incidentally, and that is I think called Barrels Reserve. Now, one of the issues they've had in the past, and particularly with like Winchester Mystery House, was that they announced the game and it's immediately sold out, and so many people are left saying, "I wanted to buy that, but I can't. It's sold out too quickly, or I couldn't get in before. By the time I knew about it and seen it, it's already gone." So, in an attempt to address that problem, they've created this new collectors club, which they say is created to make sure our biggest fans never miss out on the opportunity to purchase a sold-out Barrels of Fun game directly from us. That's a key point, directly from them rather than through a distributor, which means that it has to be within the US. And they say, here's how it works. If a new Barrels of Fun machine reaches its announced limited edition number, so 525 or whatever it was, 555 for Winchester Mystery House, 525 I think it was, wasn't it?
525, yes.
Yeah. Within the first 7 days of release, Barrels Reserve members will receive an additional 7 days to place their order through their Barrels Reserve membership account before the edition is closed. So that limited number of 525 isn't actually a limited number because, well, it isn't limited to that. It's limited to that number plus however many Barrels Reserve members also buy it in the next 7 days.
Which is where it gets kind of confusing because obviously there will be reserve members who already purchased the game before it's sold out.
That's right. Yeah, or do they? Because do they need to? Because
they don't.
No, because they've got the time. They've got a week afterwards, assuming it does sell out, in which to see the game and then make their decision.
Yeah. So in theory, if they have, let's say, 400 reserve members and a game is limited to 500 units, in theory, it could end up being a run of 900 games.
It could indeed, yes. Because there's no cap on the number of members to the Barrels Reserve. The only reason not to sign up is because it costs you $75 per person per year to be a member in order to get this access. But along with that, membership also includes access to members-only Barrels of Fun events, which we will come to in a minute, Exclusive merchandise, special sales on existing merchandise, members-only content online, and a Barrels of Fun collectible, whatever that is, with your annual membership. So, as we said, future games will still be limited and numbered, but limited to whatever they announce, plus however many Barrels Reserve members there are at the time, which we don't know. But hopefully that won't be too big a disincentive to people. Does it matter if it's 500 or 800 machines?
Yeah,
it's still a limited number, and it's still going to be a valuable and rare title to own.
yeah. So the only I can understand the reasoning for Barrels for doing this. The only thing that I have wondering is if we look at the situation of Winchester, which was announced right before Pinball Expo, and if you were able to attend Pinball Expo, then you were able to actually play that game. But a lot of these potential members will still not be in the position to have played the game in order to form an opinion, or a proper opinion, like, do I really want to buy this game?
No, but they will have the opportunity to ask Barrels of Fun for more information. More information will come out about the game over the week after it's announced. So you won't have that fear of missing out in the same ways as if you have to buy it on the day, you have to buy it in the next hour.
True.
Otherwise, you'll miss out.
But chances are you still haven't played the game, and in
Chances
the end,
are, yeah, that's true. Yeah. But you'll be better informed, if not fully informed. The only caveat to this is that you have to be a member of the Barrels Reserve before the game is launched, in order to be able to have access to that extra week to make your decision.
right?
And of course, we don't know exactly when the next game is going to be announced. So I think the idea is that you just have a rolling subscription year on year, just in case. They might come out tomorrow and announce a new game, for all we know. And in which case, if you want a member, you will not get that benefit.
Yeah.
Right, so moving on.
So that's the first part of the news from Barrels of Fun. And then we get to this new pinball cruise, Pinball at Sea cruise, which sort of reminds me a little bit of, I think Kiss and other rock bands have done cruises for fans in the past. I remember Chris Jericho also doing a cruise. He is a singer of a rock band, but also a professional wrestler. So you get the combination of both.
Singing while he's wrestling. Oh, okay.
Well, no, I'm not necessarily that, but
I like it. It's a novelty act. Yeah, I think there have been lots of themed cruises taking place with either original bands or even tribute bands as well.
Yes. Oh, yeah. 80s cruises and all that kind of stuff. So, and now, finally, here's your chance for a Pinball at Sea cruise. Martin has all the details.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's a cruise on board Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas cruise ship, which is a very large Oasis-class ship, one of the largest cruise ships in the world, in fact. So, as you can probably imagine, it's not going to be entirely dedicated to pinball. It's going to be, it's basically open to anybody to go on the cruise through booking through Royal Caribbean's site or through travel agents. But there will be certain pinball-centric events and setups on board, organised by Barrels of Fun.
Right.
It's actually being arranged such that you book it in two ways. First of all, you book your cabin through Royal Caribbean, and then after that's done, you can then book, well, at the moment you can't, but you will be able to book the pinball part of it through Barrels of Fun as a separate event. And one of the things, they call it a Pinball at Sea event package. So many of these things, while anybody can be part of the cruise, it's open to anybody, pinball or not. The Pinball at Sea event package is exclusive to members of the Barrels Reserve membership. So that kind of ties into what we were just talking about. So Barrels Reserve Club members who purchase the Pinball at Sea event package will receive exclusive Pinball at Sea merchandise, have access to their private game room featuring a variety of pinball machines from Barrels of Fun and other manufacturers. In addition, you'll also be invited to a private Barrels of Fun reception, exclusive meet and greets with the team members, a competitive pinball tournament with cash prizes, family tournaments, and other fun activities that they have planned. Now, it's a 7-day cruise, setting sail on 27th of June 2027.
Sail? It's not a sailing boat.
All right. I don't know what the better way to say it is. They leave on 27th of June, depart from Galveston in Texas, and return to Galveston, Texas 7 days later. They have the first day is departure. The second day they're at sea. The third day they arrive in Mexico. Next day they're in Honduras. After that, also in Mexico, and then they start their return journey with another day at sea and arrive back in Galveston on day 7. So the cost of this is currently, as I say, split into two things. You have your cabin, which can cost either $1,776 for an interior room for 2 people, or $2,442 for a balcony room. It's an outside room, or one with an outside view. But the cost of the Pinball at Sea event package hasn't yet been announced. So I guess they're trying to work out what it's going to consist of, and then work out how much it's going to cost. But
and is that an all-inclusive cruise in the sense that breakfast, lunch, and dinners, buffets, and everything is included, or is that all separate?
I think there are basics that are included, but then you can upgrade some aspects of it to higher level dining. And of course, with all cruises, there's all these gratuities and tips which have to be added on as well, which are pretty much mandatory, I think. So it's going to cost quite a lot more, but certainly people seem to have signed up for it already, or at least signed up for the cruise part of it. And I think given the size of the vessel, I don't think there'll be any problem in getting accommodation, at least initially, bearing in mind this is still a year out. So say it departs on the 27th of June next year and returns on the 3rd of July. So it's a new idea. A lot of people have also been saying, "Hang on, pinball on a ship? Is this really a good idea?" But those who are seasoned cruisers will tell you that such a huge ship as the Symphony of the Seas, which is, as I say, one of the largest cruise ships in the world, it's so massive that it doesn't rock and doesn't roll around at all very much. So I think it's going to be pretty stable.
It's like a floating skyscraper.
Yeah, it's like an island, I think, really. Unless it's really turbulent seas, I don't think you have any problem with movement of the game. And if you do, well, hey, it's all part of the fun, isn't it?
Well, and probably, I assume the tilts will be loosened a little bit.
Yeah, possibly, if need be.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So, but what a great way to for David and other Barrels of Fun employees to basically book a vacation as a tax write-off.
That's a very cynical way of looking at it, but
well.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's a cynical way of looking at it.
Not saying I'm cynical. It's more and more with a
practical. Should we say?
Yeah. So, oh well. So and we're still not done with Barrels of Fun because they launched new code for the Winchester Mystery House, and that's quite a big code update.
Yes, version. It came out on the 1st of July. this year, so hence it is called version 2026.07.01. It's a big change to how you tour the house, with the ability to run now from spirit encounters or other ambushes, which was something that's part of the strategy. You have to choose whether you're going to stand and fight or whether you're going to run from it using the running ability you built up throughout the rest of the game. There's also some new high score tables as well, quite a few rule changes and scoring changes, some new informational displays and call-outs, and quite a big list of bug fixes as well. So nice to see Winchester Mystery House getting sort of pretty regular updates and having some extra features added to it to keep it fresh and interesting, no matter if you've had it for some time.
Right. So, and that finally rounds it up for Barrels of Fun.
So, I think we should probably head over to Stern Pinball then.
Yes, indeed.
The biggest manufacturer. So, last month we reported on Transformers More Than Meets the Eye being launched. Well, it premiered. Yeah, it premiered at the Northwest Pinball and Arcade Show in Tacoma.
Yeah, but it was less than meets the eye.
Sadly, yes. Well, I mean, we had, say, premiered there. We also had a premiere at the Park Avenue Open Day, which we reported on last month as well. So I got to play it, and as did other people in attendance for that, but we don't talk about that. However, as you say, didn't quite go to plan with what they were hoping to have a big display of 20 machines at the Northwest Pinball and Arcade Show, but unfortunately there was a parts supply issue, which meant they couldn't build them. So they're only able to bring one machine, which obviously meant that it was incredibly popular and there were long lines to play it.
Well, that's one way to create a line.
Yeah, that's right, yes. So, yeah, a bit of a shame about that, but it will, if you missed it, you didn't get a chance to play it there, and looking for your opportunity, and it's not in your arcade yet, because they sent some out to locations fairly early on. Transformers will be at the San Diego Comic-Con, which is being held on the 23rd to the 26th of this month of July, obviously in San Diego. On Thursday, there is a Transformers A Celebration of Life concert, which is co-sponsored by Stern and Hasbro, amongst others. So a big Transformers event where I'm sure you'll get plenty of Transformers More Than Meets the Eye machines there.
And I'm so curious who will be performing there.
Yes. Well, I'm sure if you go to the San Diego Comic-Con website, you will be able to find out exactly all the details of that Transformers A Celebration of Life concert.
Right.
So
I know of certain bands that are able to transform a guitar into a pile of trash.
Yeah, but you could see them do it the other way
around.
But not back.
No.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, there's been quite a few comments about the non-transforming Optimus Prime in the game. It's still something that people are beating Stern with, which I guess is understandable, given the fact if they said they never intended it to transform, then that would be fair enough, and people could take it for that. But the fact they tried and failed is a bit of a negative point. But anyway, the game is still fun to play, I can tell you that, and has some good call-outs and video in the game as well from the TV series, the cartoon series.
Right.
And you have some news about employment opportunity at Stern Pinball.
Well, it caught my eye. I wasn't specifically looking for this, and then it was pointed out to me that Michael Grant, we know very well, is looking for an events manager to report directly to him. At Stern Pinball, that is, and this role will drive Stern trade shows, product exhibitions indeed, and community activations from start to finish, experience in the pinball gaming and or amusement industry is a major plus. The role requires around 30% travel and offers a hybrid schedule based in Elk Grove Village, Illinois. They're looking for 3 to 5 years of solid event or trade show production experience, strong background with convention hall logistics, freight vendors, and union labor, comfort with the basic field tech and troubleshooting equipment on the fly. I found this on LinkedIn, and there is a link on Michael's profile on LinkedIn to this vacancy, so to speak. My first response was, isn't this Michael's job? In the sense that, why is he looking for a replacement? Apparently, I assume, I haven't checked with Michael, but I assume that he's getting, climbing the ladder at Stern and getting a different role, but somebody still needs to do what he used to be doing.
Yeah, well, it probably needs help, because then Stern are looking to organise much more of their own, or many more of their own shows at various events, and they used to work with Marco a lot, and right. now that collaboration doesn't exist when he goes to trade shows or other pinball shows. So now Stern taking over a lot of that responsibility themselves. So yeah, it's understandable they need some assistance with that. The same thing, the kind of thing they're doing in Europe as well, trying to push their appearance and having many more machines and a bigger display and stand at pinball shows around Europe. They're doing that in the US too.
Right. So now, if I got you excited, then here's the bad news. It looks like they are no longer accepting applications, and they are already reviewing the applicants that noticed the vacancy earlier.
It's not to say that any of them will actually necessarily get the post. They might be advertising again if they don't get anybody with the required skills. But yeah.
And otherwise, if you would be interested, it might be worthwhile to add Michael Grant to one of the people on LinkedIn that you follow.
Yes.
In order to find out whenever another opportunity arises.
Either way, looks like we can look forward to seeing an additional Stern staff member helping organise trade shows and product displays.
Right. It doesn't say that anybody was sacked in the sense that, like, somebody that used to work at Stern and helped Michael, and they said, no, you're no good anymore, go away. It doesn't say that. But that might be a conclusion that we come after, for example, after Pinball Expo or so. I don't know. It's like, hey, where's such and such? Oh, he's no longer working with us anymore.
Well, anyway, we don't know that, but
no, that's pure speculation, and for my amusement only.
Good. Well, something else for all our amusement only is some late-breaking news. Just as we are starting to record this, I've got some news from Stern Pinball that they have added a new gameplay mode to the game Jaws. Jaws: The Revenge is the mode. It's one of those ones where you hold in both flipper buttons and then you select from the gameplay one of the challenge modes. Well, it looks like that's been made available for the 4th of July celebration, which at the time of recording is tomorrow. And you may remember, of course, that Jaws is based around the 4th of July, so it kind of ties in with it being that game. So it's available on the game mode menu as an option to play if you are logged in to Insider Connected. But only if you're logged into Insider Connected. So this is interesting. This is a new feature that we're going to see this more in the future. You have to be logged in order to access some of these modes. It says you can take your revenge on the bounty hunters, always trying to hunt you. So I guess you're playing as Jaws in this 5-level 8-bit inspired challenge mode. So I guess it's a bit. Well, I was going to say it's a bit like the video game in the mode in the game, but as far as graphics go, but with 5 different levels to complete, it's going to be quite a challenge. So nice little upgrade for any Jaws owners to take advantage of this 4th of July.
Right. So, and just in time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yes. And I mean, that was
now. If we get this edited in time, that's the other question.
Well, I'm sure it'll be there afterwards as well. But
right,
it's being launched for that. But that's a code update, I suppose. They say you need to have your game connected, powered up and connected in order to download this update automatically. But we also have quite a lot of other code updates to cover.
Jolly.
Yes, well, actually, this is a bit of a sort of bragging rights here, because last month we detailed some system updates, including the latest code for several titles, which added support for things like Tops Tournament in that gameplay menu, and also added a whole bunch of different test menu settings, which allowed customization of test screens, RGB lamp test behavior, and saving system settings, both locally and on the USB stick. Well, in that, we said, expect this to be rolled out to all Spike games through future software updates. And sure enough, Stern released updates to all the Spike games on the 1st of July. Now, many of them...
We told you so.
That's it. Many of them got other bug fixes thrown in too, and a few other nice features, which we'll cover in a minute. But for the majority, I'd say they are just those system software updates that we just talked about. So, we said it would happen, and it did. We had absolutely no knowledge it was going to happen, but it's just speculation. But they've done it in the past, and they're doing it again. And also things like software or firmware updates for like node boards and things like that, to improve reliability. But
now, speaking of code updates, I was going to say, are there any code updates for specific games?
Yes,
released the past month.
Quite a few, actually. You'll be pleased to hear. Yeah.
Good heavens.
Yeah. Well, Pokemon. That's actually got 2 code updates on the 18th of June and the 1st of July. Version 0.83 was first, which added new team features to boost a team member in the Pokemon game for the rest of the ball, and added Magikarp multi-ball if you have the new Magikarp Topper, which was also launched this month. They also added travel between different biomes, and new rules to the start of Team Rocket Multi-Ball number 2. Then version 0.84 came out just a couple of days ago, added quite a lot of rules, new rules, and new light shows. Several of the existing rules and scores have been adjusted. Some standard features have been implemented, things like competition mode, target game time, all that's in the menus. And there are even more bug fixes there. Transformers, that got version 0.87 also a couple of days ago. Their current game, More Than Meets the Eye, that is. Quite a lot of rule changes and a handful of bug fixes, but nothing substantial. John Wick, yes, that one, remember that? That got version 1.02 updated as well on the 1st of July. Changed the way the TikTok Mr. Wick Topper exclusive mode works, and added 4 challenge modes as well, from the gameplay menu, holding in both flipper buttons. And also added 36 new insider-connected achievements, lots of bug fixes, and quite a few rule changes too. So it's good to see John Wick getting a bit of love there. And finally, The Walking Dead Remastered got version 0.93 at the beginning of June, which added just a couple of things: an outlane ball save, a bonus held award, a new end of bonus screen. No, that's right, end of ball bonus screen, I should say. Plus a few bug fixes. So minor one, but worthwhile having on The Walking Dead Remastered. And that's the code update for Stern games throughout the month of June and the first couple of days of July.
Right, okay, and that rounds it up for Stern Pinball for now. Yeah, so moving on to, let's say Wonderland Amusements, who are based in the US and manufacturing from Hong Kong. There's still very limited information about TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Battle in the Sewers, but there is a brief video on their YouTube channel of a Whitewood game, or Unarted game, if you will,
Mhm.
being flipped. But you also have to wonder how much code is in that game, because since it's a whitewood, it might not be completely coded yet. So the pre-sale of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Battle in the Sewer ended on June the 20th, which means the price rose from $849 to $1,100 for the standard edition. But of course, there's no guarantee there won't be another discounted promotion before they actually start making and shipping the game. So keep your eyes open for promotions around, I don't know, 4th of July or Halloween
Thanksgiving.
or Thanksgiving, that kind of stuff. Yes.
Yeah, President's Day.
Christmas.
Yeah, Thursdays. Yeah, anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and if you're a lucky owner of Alice Goes to Wonderland, there's a code update, version 1.1.4, released on the 22nd of June, which has a new attract mode, 2 new music tracks, a revised skill shot. The caterpillar insert lightning has changed. They added user menu sounds, which might be very handy that you actually hear that you're scrolling through the menu. They fixed volume control and high score table bugs. So if you own that game, then it's advised to update your game.
Yeah, it's nice to see that they're still releasing updates to that. They're not just concentrating on coding the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, but still supporting Alice. So
Right.
I dare say there'll be some more code updates for Alice as well.
Right. And that rounds it up for Wonderland Amusements for the month of July 2026.
Yes. So let's move on to our next company, and American Pinball. It's nice to have all these companies we can talk about.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's so different than 20 years ago.
Yes. Our PINcast back then was very short. Yes, so American Pinball, they've launched a new YouTube channel called Official American Pinball. So if you go to YouTube, youtube.com/@Official American Pinball.
Sounds very official.
Yeah. The old @American Pinball channel with the old logo is still there, but it looks like it's not going to be updated anymore. All their new content is going to go onto the official American Pinball channel. I don't know why.
Why would that be?
No idea. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe the old YouTube channel wasn't included in the sale, or maybe whoever managed it no longer working there and hasn't handed over control of it to the current team. No
That's
idea.
not a situation that you want.
Well, it's awkward having to point people to a new YouTube channel, especially when the old one's still there as well. That leads to a potential confusion. But anyway, well, hopefully now you know @Official American Pinball is the place to look for existing and upcoming YouTube videos from American Pinball.
Right. So now, earlier on, we were discussing a job opportunity at Stern Pinball. If you were looking to work in the industry of pinball, and you happen to be a little bit of a creative yourself, and not so much a salesperson, but more on the creative end, maybe the following is interesting for you, because American Pinball is looking to hire a junior pinball designer.
Yes, that's right. It's at American Pinball. We're passionate about creating exciting industry pinball, and they say if you love pinball, enjoy creative problem solving, and have experience with Fusion 360 and SolidWorks, they'd love to hear from you. They say the role is perfect for somebody with a strong technical mindset and an engineering understanding of how pinball machines operate and come together.
Right.
So you'll
And
so say you'll collaborate with the design team, assist in mechanical design, work with lots of CAD, Fusion 360 and SolidWorks, contribute ideas and solutions for gameplay and mechanical features, and support the production of the game, and working under the creative leadership of course, creative director Melvin Williams.
Right.
And be part of the team dedicated to pushing pinball design forward. it says.
Right. And just in case you were wondering, this is a full-time in-person position at their office in Palatine, Illinois.
Absolutely, yes. So if you're
So it's
looking,
not like you can phone it in from wherever you're.
yeah, no working from home for this one. Yes, if it says if you're excited about being part of designing the next generation of pinball machines, we encourage you to apply by emailing jobs@americanpinball.com. So that's
Right.
how you get in touch. And I'm sure if you go on any of their socials, you'll be able to find all the details of that, and even be able to ask them any questions if it's not entirely clear what the possibilities of the job are. But this is a junior pinball designer rather than a senior pinball designer.
Right. So there's no need to point out existing pinball design and say, "Hey, is this something for you?"
Yes. Be interesting to see whether anybody who worked in the old American Pinball decides to apply for any of that, for that position.
Right. Now, if you think, "Oh, I'd love to work in pinball, but I'm not sure whether I can design a pinball machine. That's just so complex, and that's just not for me. I'd rather do something a little bit more, less complex."
Yeah.
Then there's also good news for you, because American Pinball is also looking for assembly line workers, which means that you'll be working Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.
It's not early.
But you leave early as well.
Oh, yeah.
$18 to $20 an hour. Training is included, and there is no experience necessary. And if you're interested in that, then the email address is actually the same, jobs@americanpinball.com, to learn more and apply.
No experience necessary, so basically open to anybody. Then, by the sound of it.
Yeah, if you think you can hold a screwdriver, then this is probably the position for you.
Okay, and if you don't know how to hold a screwdriver, training is included, and they'll teach you how to hold a screwdriver. So there's open to everyone. Okay. I think that's it for our news from American Pinball for this month of June and the start of July. So instead, we'll move. Well, let's move all the way over to France, because Hexa Pinball, they are celebrating their 4th birthday. Yes, no, not 35th,
Hip, hip, hooray.
as in Sonic, but 4th for them. Got their second game, of course, out, the Three Musketeers, the follow-up from Space Hunt, and that has been appearing at various pinball events across Europe, and it will also be appearing at the Australian Pinball Expo, which is being held this weekend, coming up on the 4th to the 6th. No, it can't be right. 4th and 5th, I guess, of July. And also, it's appearing at a show in France called Ile de Flip, which is the same time this weekend. So a couple of opportunities there on opposite sides of the globe to play the Three Musketeers if you haven't had a chance yet, and also if you have had a chance yet, to see what the latest code is like, which is something I'd certainly like to see. So that's I think. Oh, you have some music to accompany Hexa Pinball, not from the Three Musketeers, I have to add. So that's the news from Hexa Pinball in France, and next we'll move over to back to the US and go and see what's been happening in Round Rock in Texas, where Multimorphic are based.
Right. Well, they've been adding more distributors, namely Nitro Pinball in Canada, for amusement-only games in the US, Flip and Rex in Switzerland, which I have never heard of before, but okay. No. And Mr. Pinball Australia, and I assume they are in Australia.
I believe they are, yes.
Yes, and Mr. Pinball Australia will also have a couple of P3 machines, namely the Portal Extended and the Princess Bride, at the Australian Pinball Expo this weekend. So quite a few new titles, I'd say, to play at the Australian Pinball Expo. this weekend if you happen to be in Australia and heading there.
Yes, I should probably just hark back to something we talked about earlier, because I've seen a few Facebook posts from David Van Ness, who's also down in Australia at the Australian Pinball Expo representing Barrels of Fun. So you'll be able to go down there and meet David and get stuff signed by him. And I think they're also doing some barrel ball competitions there as well. I saw yeah, so good fun to be had down there, and say hello to David.
Yes, indeed. So, and if you're wondering why David would be there, I believe David has Australian roots.
Absolutely, he has family down there.
Yeah. So,
anyway,
and last but not least, if you were ever wondering, what it's like in the multimorphic factory, they did post a recent factory tour montage, I would say, on their Facebook channel. So where you can see various stations, what is happening with various assemblies being assembled, and before they go into a game and so on. So if you're interested in that, then by all means take a look at the Multimorphic Facebook page.
Yes, and alternatively, of course, I was going to say, did you publish a view of the Multimorphic Factory from your Texas Pinball Festival report?
I think I might have.
I think you did.
Don't recall.
Yeah.
I think I
pretty
did.
sure
So
you did.
Yeah. So that means that you have to log in, or well, not log in, but you have to visit pinball-magazine.com, and there you can find some more details about our most recent visit, which was in March of this year.
Yes, we're building Portal, and I guess they're probably still building Portal.
Yes, there's no new game announced yet, although we're still waiting for one. Interestingly, the factory tour montage uses music by Scott Denisi. I'm not sure whether that's new music or whether that's from already used in Portal or one of the other games.
Final Resistance.
Yeah, so. But it sounded good, so well, Scott Denisi. What else? Huh?
Always good.
So,
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, moving north and going out to Wisconsin, a little bit of news from Spooky Pinball in the form of some new code for their Beetlejuice game, which is they're currently making. That came out on the 11th of June, and hence its version 2026.06.11. Adds a new head shrink mode, which seems like a lot of fun, with some enormous number of switch hits, which are in the trillions, which kind of ties in with the now serving, or how long you have to wait to be served in the movie. So new head shrink mode, lots of new call-outs and new lighting effects, plus 5 bug fixes as well in the new code. I won't detail what they all are because it's quite boring, but if you haven't got the game, you'll probably never notice them. And now, never will. So that's new code for Beetlejuice.
Then again, you never know what new bugs are appearing due to these new bug fixes.
Oh yes, that's right. Nothing is guaranteed as not introducing anything new. But hopefully not. They have a good record on their code updates.
So we're getting into the section where it's a little bit of more short news, I would say, until we get to the other news section, where Martin has a very in-depth story on the prosecution of Robert Mueller of Deep Roots.
I'll try and keep it short.
To come. So, but new code from Cardona Pinball for Fishtails, the Ultimate Fishing Challenge, version 2026.06.12, which means it was released on the 12th of June. A new video mode, new announcer callouts, new headphone controls, some display text and scoring changes, and half a dozen bug fixes. So one more than Spooky Pinball.
Yeah, yes. I'm not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing. But there was an additional bug, but whatever it was, they fixed it.
So.
Yes, as you said, not much news from a lot of these companies, but a few bits and pieces. So let's move to Vector Pinball, who are in Australia, and of course, we'll have a selection of their games at this weekend's Australian Pinball Expo show. Not quite sure what they are yet, but I guess it depends on what they have. But I would expect them to have their Lost in Space game there as well, showing the latest version of that, and of course some of their other car-based games and driver-based games. Yeah, and King of the Mountain and things like that. Yeah, but
Able Fury possibly as well.
Yeah, it's a good game. No other news from them about any additional titles because obviously Lost in Space is their current one, and they're still looking to build those.
Right. So then we have Killdozer Studios in the US, headed by Jake Danzig, of course, who said they are rebuilding various aspects of the Monster League hockey game ahead of starting production, and that includes replacing physical switches with optos and tweaking some of the geometry and rewriting the code. Obviously, if you have an opto switch, that requires different code than physical switch.
Yeah, but I think they're actually sort of going back to first principles and rewriting it from the very start again. Now they've actually got to produce the game. Speaking of which, they're planning to start production in the autumn, and also to have at least 10 Monster League hockey games at Pinball Expo in Schomburg in this October. So take up a big space there, particularly as they're the head-to-head games. So you've got to have access to both sides. So looking forward to seeing what they put on there. Sounds like it's going to be quite a display.
Right, indeed. So, well, best of luck to Killdozer and can't think of the name, who are actually going to be building the game.
That's Ramps.
Ramps Pinball. Thank you. Yeah. So, no news from Ramps Pinball either.
No, we'll get that in. We'll get that in early. However, and also really no news from Bigtronic in Spain either. But in researching that, I did notice on their website it makes the claim that they are the only pinball manufacturer in Europe. Which must come a bit of a surprise to Pedretti and Dutch Pinball and Pinball Brothers and Hexa Pinball and everybody else trying to make games. And but there you go.
Maybe at least there's one.
yeah, certainly one of the pinball manufacturers in Europe. Yes,
surprisingly enough, and well, you mentioned me being cynical earlier on, but so this is the one manufacturer in Europe where we hardly see any games of.
Yes, not actually manufacturing any. So
saying that they are the only manufacturer. So
okay, well, so take that with a pinch of salt. Meanwhile, somebody who has made a few games at least is Homepin, based in Taiwan. They recently shipped a few Blues Brothers games to a customer in Taichung in the center of the island. They're based in the south. Homepin. Not sure exactly how many. There's some pictures on the Homepin factory Facebook page, which shows 5 Blues Brothers machines wrapped up numbered as numbers 124 to 128. Not sure whether that means they've made 124 or 128, whether the numbering starts at 1 or starts at 100, or as Jonathan cynically pointed out, maybe it starts at 120. But
can you blame me?
No, that's a bit of an open goal, wasn't it? And in World Cup times, that's too good an opportunity to miss. Anyway, nice to see some Blues Brothers games getting out there to Taiwan as well. So
nice to see that there's still news coming from Homepin, because it's been several months and we didn't hear anything.
Yes, the last news I think was just Mike Kalinowski setting off some firecrackers for the new year.
And I'm curious whether, since Mike has Australian roots, usually he attends the Australian Pinball Show, so I'm curious whether he will be at the Australian Pinball Expo this weekend.
Yes, that's right.
I guess we'll have to find out and report on that next month.
Yeah, normally he's represented by Highway Pinball down there. But he's certainly no stranger to that show and to pinball shows in Australia.
Right.
Okay, so now we come to a whole bunch of companies where we really do have no news.
Right, so we're going to wrap this up really quick. There's no news from Dutch Pinball slash DPX as far as that still exists. The DPX section. Dutch Pinball still in existence, no worries there. So, also no news from Chicago Gaming, Turner Pinball, Pinball Brothers, Ramps, indeed, as mentioned earlier, Pinball Adventures. I'm not sure why we keep checking those, but Quetzal Pinball in Spain and STR we already did from the list, as well as Circus Maximus. So a whole bunch of companies where no news, but that doesn't mean there's no activity. It's just that there was no news to report.
No,
If it's just business as usual, then it's also fine.
Yeah,
So,
we do.
And then now on to the other news. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, as Johnson mentioned, there's a bit of development in the Deep Root case and the criminal prosecution of the head of Deep Root, Robert Mueller, who is now also being prosecuted, in addition to wire fraud, being prosecuted over a $759,917 claim on the COVID Paycheck Protection Program from the government, which was designed to help companies pay for payroll costs, rent and mortgage interest, and cover operations expenditure. Prosecutors from the Justice Department allegedly used the money to pay back investors in this Deep Root investment funds. They are pressing for a full repayment of the $760,000 loan, along with penalties, and starting with any property that's been purchased using any of the funds. There was certainly a suggestion that there might have been a family member who got a property purchased by Deep Root. Whether it came from those funds, we don't know. But they also add it is the intent of the United States of America to seek forfeiture of any other property up to the value of the money judgment as substitute assets, so potentially seizing his home or homes. But that's just another pressure to put on him. As for the remainder, the wire fraud charges, well, there's a whole bunch of things that the Department of Justice say they intend to prove in the case, and which they only need to prove one of these things. There are actually 16 items that they've listed, saying to things like falsely represented this and falsely claimed that there were cash reserves and there were no debt and all that kind of thing. Mixed in the bunch is falsely claimed that the pinball operation had launched and was generating $1 million in revenue. Well, I think we know that isn't true.
I truly believe that it would have cost $1 million at least in developments, but revenues I'm not so sure about.
Yes, and the final item in this list of 16 things that the Department of Justice intends to prove is that Robert Mueller admitted to mention that the September 2020 launch of the pinball was a failure. Their words, not mine. So anyway,
so I'm really curious. Do you know from the top of your head what the September 2020 launch was? Was that Raza being shown at the?
Yes, that was the one that was in COVID times. I remember, or just at the end of COVID, before when we weren't allowed to travel to the US. We actually missed out on the Pinball Expo that year as well, because we couldn't travel until into November.
That was the Houston show with the two Raza games with the.
No, that was the factory tour, I think, where they were showing a select bunch of pinball media around the factory, and the reel, the lock, the pin bar, and the storage box thing, the pin pod. That and all that stuff, which of course never came to pass. So anyway, that looks like it's still heading for trial later this year, and there's I think there is a hearing coming up about the 20th, I think, of this month, July. So we'll have more on that as whether it's actually going to go to trial. At the moment, I think it looks like it is, but because Robert's already rejected plea deals in the past, so there was a suggestion that this paycheck protection program additional allegation was intended to put more pressure on in order to avoid having the expense and time of a trial. But so far, it's headed for the courts.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you for keeping us up to date with.
It's okay. Try and keep across all this and
situation.
reading through all the court filings. One other new bit of paperwork as well, which we're happy to announce, is that there's a new pinball book being launched this month, the month of July. Yes, Tasker Smith's Pinball: A Quest for Mastery is going to be released on the 28th of July. It's a guide to how to increase your pinball skills in various ways, from actual gameplay techniques to mental agility, and getting into the right frame of mind in order to perform at your optimum. I'll have more about it because I'm getting a preview copy, and we'll be doing a full review of it on Pinball News. Hopefully the book will arrive in time for me to get the article written to coincide with the launch on the 28th of July. But if not, it'll be out shortly afterwards, and keep an eye out for where you can buy your copy of Tasker's Pinball: A Quest for Mastery on the 28th.
Right. I was going to say, will there be a presentation at Pinball Expo that you know of?
I don't know yet.
Or will the book be available at Pinball Expo?
I think the book will certainly be available at Pinball Expo, yes. Yes, whether there's going to be a presentation or seminar about it, I don't know. But yes, I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to buy it on the show floor.
Right. Okay, well, we hope you have enjoyed this look back at the month of June 2026.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? We'll be back at the start of August with our next PINcast, looking back again at all the events of the pinball industry throughout this exciting month of July. So, until then, from me, Martin Ayer of Pinball News.
And me, Jonathan Houston of Pinball Magazine.
We hope you have a truly jubilant July, and we look forward to joining you again start of next month for the very next edition of the Pinball Industry News PINcast. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.